your jaws.
Put the gun down before you kill someone.
Teenage Girl's Diary.
Hello!
Me. Oh,
Start over.
no. Shaggy said hi too.
And welcome to another Dollar Store Drive-In. I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel, and this is our house.
And we are the Newlydeads. And today we are doing another review, a movie review. That is the premise of this show. We usually watch a movie and then do a review for you.
And since it's in our house, you're going to hear weird noises like Shaggy saying hello to you, or Bailey maybe getting angry with Shaggy, or Jack swimming around, or whatever. And so just ignore it. If you hear screams, it's okay.
If you are watching the show on Tingler Television on Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, you can also join us in the chat. We like talking to you. Occasionally we get people that come and say hi.
Once in a while.
Most of the time it's just me and Joel staring at the screen longingly, wishing that someone would come talk to us.
We're nice. We'll
We
talk
are.
about anything. We don't have to talk about the movie if you haven't seen it. We'll talk about other movies.
Yeah.
We've seen other movies.
Or you can just say hi.
Or you can just hang out, say hello, and
If
ask
you're
what we're
bored and you
eating.
want to talk to somebody about your dinner, we'd be happy to talk about your dinner.
We like dinner.
We do. We eat it
We do.
every day.
Every once in a while we eat lunch too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So anyways, this week we watched, all of our movies are from the Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Dollar Bin, some sort of bargain. They're always under $5. So if we can find them anywhere, even like a Salvation Army or Goodwill, something like that, if they've got some.
And if you've made a movie yourself and you'd like us to watch it, we can also review that. Or, like our friends at IT and Distribution or Justin Cook Public Relations. Who
Yeah.
provides us with films. We get movies from all over, but they have to either be free or under $5.
Yep. This one was not free.
Nope.
But it was under
$1.25.
$5. It's a little movie called Distorted. There are some big names in this one.
There's, at least 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that that's accurate. Christina Ricci and John Cusack are both in this. Don.
Good old Don Cusack.
That's the half. Yeah, half. The other half, I don't have my freaking glasses on and I can't remember what his name. Brendan Fletcher is the half, as what I'm thinking.
And that's not because he's short. It's because not as many people
Would know who he was. You might know him if you see him, though, because he's in a lot of things.
He's kind of a character actor.
Yeah, Joel really enjoys him.
I think Ben Foster steals his jobs a lot, or vice versa, because they're very similar. And, Tom Cruise is only an inch taller, and yet he gets all the big roles. So I don't see why Ben Foster or how Ben Foster has. But anyway,
Well,
I'm a
here's
Brendan
Shaggy.
Fletcher fan.
He is. You're a Fletcher fan.
I was
fan.
going to say Fanalo, but that doesn't work. That's what you usually say.
You're a flancher.
If you're watching, Brendan.
He's a flancher. Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, I love Christina Ricci. I don't know about you, but I also love not Don, but John Cusack from Chicago. We're near Chicago-ish, so.
We are Cusack and Cusack fans, Joan and John.
Yeah, both of them. Should I read the synopsis of the story?
Please.
Yes. So, Distorted is Lauren and Russell. How did she say? She said Coran, right? Coran. It's like Curran. That we have an apple orchard here called Curran's, and that's what I would have said, but she pronounced it weird.
And the Koran, of course, is...
Yeah. So it's Curran. So I would say Curran.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Decided to move away from the bustle of the city and into the peaceful oasis of the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle is a coveted luxury condo that boasts ultra-modern design and state-of-the-art features and security systems. When Lauren starts to suspect that the building has a dark side, she seeks help from Vernon, an investigative journalist who has an interest in cyber conspiracy. Together, they come to believe that the Pinnacle may be brainwashing the unsuspecting residents.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's the movie.
It's not wrong.
That's the movie.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the finite details of the film,
we're going to show you
probably...
a clip. A series of clips.
Also known as a trailer.
A trailer. I did that on purpose.
It's still funny. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's still funny. So we're going to pull the trailer up. You're going to watch it for a minute, and then it's going to pull out and go away. And then we'll be back to talk about the finer points of the film.
We'll be right back.
This is the pinnacle?
Lauren, Russell, welcome to 21st century living. We have the ultimate in comfort and tranquility. All suites have access to our 24-hour surveillance of all key venues.
The Pinnacle is owned by a man named Henning Dahlquist.
I'll have a guy now check into this, see what I can dig up.
A word just flashed across the screen.
What word?
Lauren, Russell thinks you should be hospitalized again.
What?
If we don't get results within 4 to 6 weeks, I like to try upping the dosage.
I'm not one of them.
Excuse me?
Delivery?
How did you get through the gate? And I have to ask you to leave,
This is the Pinnacle.
or I will call security.
Have you noticed anything unusual about your apartment?
What is your interest in all this?
I met someone recently who was talking about it. What if someone is using this building as a subliminal advertising experiment?
What are you experiencing?
Coercive flash images.
Maybe it's just gonna take time.
This is not in my head.
There's a part of you that can't be touched. You gotta listen to that part of yourself. You're not paranoid. Who do you trust? You're operating on a frequency outside the range of their tech. It's happening, and I think you can help me prove it. Everything is straight up paranoia until you get the physical evidence.
What is this?
My theory is too little meds, your condition takes over. Too much, they do. Hello, Lauren. You should get out there.
What?
Run. Lauren, you are fully aware of what you've done?
I've done exactly what was asked of me.
So what'd you think of that?
I think it was a
movie.
fine little trailer.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Oh, was there fun things in it?
Maybe.
I bet there was.
We never know until it's showtime, because I don't even know until...
The only ones he usually doesn't mess with are like the ones that are kind people that give them to us for free, because we don't want to mess with your stuff. But if we bought it, I feel like
It gives us a little bit of leeway.
a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And if we like it, we won't mess with it. But,
No.
all right.
So that's an indicator.
So, yeah, that's going to be a giveaway. For those of you who are longtime fans, which incidentally, I can't talk. This is our 26th episode, which means we are officially halfway through the year.
Halfway.
There's 52 weeks in a year.
Shaggy wants to celebrate.
There's only one episode that was missed because of technical difficulties at Tingler, not because it didn't exist. And so, technically, this is our 27th would be, but because of that, we're on 26.
Number 26.
So we're halfway through the year.
Halfway through the year.
So, Distorted is from 2018. Currently, it's sitting on an Internet Movie Database at 4.5 out of 10. Directed by Rob W. King, who also is known for The Humanity Bureau, which stars one Nicolas Cage, and a series called The Other Side that had 32 episodes. Television series. I don't know if it was a streaming thing or a TV thing, but maybe I'll point it out. The writer of this film was Arnie Olsen, who is best known for the 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie and Red Scorpion 1 and 2, which I've seen the first one, which I actually kind of enjoyed, and Cop and a Half 1 and 2.
Cop and a Half?
Yeah. That's the movie where I want to say it's Tom Selleck, maybe? No, it's one of those mustachioed guys and a little kid. And he's a cop and he's got a little kid. And so it's Cop and a Half. And then they made a sequel called New Recruit.
His lip was very funny.
He's got a little lower lip and teeth.
It's very cute.
So this stars one Christina Ricci, who you may know from The Addams Family, from the series Wednesday, from the show that currently is in its about to start its third season, Yellow Jackets. She's been around since she was a little kid. We're fans. We like her.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, yep, from 1999. Another great film. Tim Burton. She's a Tim Burton.
She is. She looks like a Tim
person.
Burton character.
Just doesn't have
Just in life.
teeth quite.
No, I don't think they all have teeth. They don't all have teeth.
He's got a thing for big teeth.
Yeah, it's true.
Big teeth.
It's very true.
Also, John Cusack, who you may
Don.
know from Better Off Dead, Grosse Point Blank, High Fidelity, and a slew of 100,000 other movies that you've probably seen at some point between the early 80s to now. Although he's kind of been relegated to the direct-to-DVD world for a while, but
Yeah.
he crosses
like
over.
him. Yeah.
He crosses over.
He's still a big name actor.
I mean,
You say John Cusack and everybody knows who you're talking about.
and if you say Joan, they know the same thing.
Yeah. She's a funny lady.
And finally, the other person of note, Mr. Brendan Fletcher, who you may not know, but I know from Rampage 1, 2, and 3, from Violent Night, the recent David Harbour Santa Claus super bloody gory action movie, which was fantastic. He was on iZombie as a kidnapper for a few episodes. He was on Freddy vs. Jason, where he died. And he was in a movie called Night Hunter, where he plays a psychotic, like, serial killer type person, but he's also a meek kind of witness as well. It's a dual role.
Weird.
And the movie itself is Alexandria Daddario's in it, and Superman is in it. Henry Cavill.
The actual Superman?
If you want to watch a movie for his performance, it's worth it for that. But as a movie as a whole, it's okay.
Nice.
But his performance is fantastic. He should be getting more work. So that is the deets on the flick. Let's go.
All right. I feel like... Was this in the theater?
No.
Yeah. I could tell it was like a direct-to-DVD. Seemed like a made-for-TV movie.
It very much felt... That's exactly one of the very first things I wrote. Felt like a TV movie, but with Alfred Hitchcock directing. Or Alfred Hitchcock's son directing. It was very Hitchcockian.
Cousin.
His cousin, Alfred Hitchcock's cousin, Gerald Hitchcock, was directing this film. Gerald Hitchcock Jr., his cousin's son.
Yeah, so his second cousin twice removed.
Right, on his mother's side.
Yeah.
Was directing the film. So in case you haven't noticed, there's a theme here.
I mean, the acting was fine, you know? I mean, I like all those actors. Like, you know, I feel like...
Did the best with what they had?
Yeah, I feel like maybe the writing wasn't the greatest.
I mean, straight from the intro, it felt like we were in for a sci-fi knockoff, weird, sad movie. Like the intro was, was she having the dream sequence thing?
Yeah. I feel like they delayed parts of the story too long that they should have, like, revealed earlier. Because you spent half the movie going, I think that's what happened to her. And it really doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. Like, to like, the meat of the story, right? Like, the plot line. It doesn't really matter. Some of the stuff that they were, like, holding on to is this, like, revealing secret. Who cares?
And you figured out the ending pretty early on, I feel like.
No.
Kind of?
No, because I thought it was someone else. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. I didn't.
I forgot that there was the ending that ended up being a little bit of a...
Dumb.
Not twist, but... It was... I mean, I was happy that it ended that way, but I thought for sure, because I thought you were right.
I was happy it ended the way it ended also.
Also, I just realized this, and this is a just now kind of realization, and maybe I should choose
He had an epiphany.
I did. I'm thinking I should have chosen it for my end movie, but it's too late for that, so we're going to skip it. But if any of you have seen David Cronenberg's earliest work, Shivers... the building in Shivers is very much like this building. Not that it is a mind control thing, and that's all about sex parasites. He's a body horror.
I know.
Yeah, director, as you know.
I know who that is.
But the building in that looks very much the same, where it's out kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's super like ritzy, like there's
like why
high
is
security,
this fancy building in the middle of nowhere?
where only people who have lots of money can can live there.
Yeah, reside.
Because you said at the very beginning, you said this feels like a fakey building. Like you said,
It looked fake.
But in retrospect, I'll have to show you later. But it looks a lot like the building in Shivers, and I'll put a picture maybe of them side by side if I feel up to it. Incidentally, where the heck was John Cusack for the first 42 minutes
Agreed.
of the film?
Yeah, you don't put people on the front of the cover.
He's right there.
Yeah, I feel like Brendan Fletcher needed to be on the front of the cover because he had more of a role than John Cusack did.
And John Cusack, I'm sure was a character choice on his part. He's like, I'm going to wear a hood at all times.
At all times, because I need to look like I'm
hiding.
Shady.
So it's either a hood or a hat with a hood. Or
a tin helmet. I'm expecting him to pull out his foil hat.
To take off his hood and he's got his brains exposed or something. I don't know. It was a weird choice. I get why he was doing it. He was trying to be kind of a conspiracy theorist kind of looking person. But it got distracting after a while.
It just got, all right.
And I don't know why they waited 42 minutes because, maybe that's all he signed up for was X number of pages.
Yeah. I feel like it's because they needed to drag on that weird part of the, story that made no sense to drag on. None of that made sense to me. Why? I understand they're trying to, develop the fact that she's got, a PTSD, mental disorder, something going on in her brain kind of thing. But you don't need to spend 42 minutes trying to convey that. We get it. Trauma, stress, great. Move on with the story. You could have done way more, I feel like, with John Cusack's character. And built a better story about the building itself, even because the building itself didn't even show up till halfway through the movie,
and it felt tacked on.
That was a huge part of it.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what the point of the film was.
Yeah, go into more in depth about the creepy people who live there.
Right.
Show more about that. If it's supposed to be mind control, show people being controlled more.
Doing weird things.
You see a couple of weird peeps and one dude, following her around all the time and stuff, and he had no idea why he was doing this.
But even that was very outside of them. The only thing that was consistent was the use of the song "Beautiful Dreamer," which is stuck in my head now since we started recording. But this was not. It was not a horror movie, and I didn't think it was, but it sounded like it was.
It's
vaguely,
a thriller. Yeah.
Borderline, kind of like Silence of the Lambs isn't a horror movie, but it kind of gets thrown in with that because it's on the border.
Yeah. This was not on the border. This was straight up thriller, sci-fi-ish. Not even Well,
Eagle Eye.
I guess you can call it sci-fi-ish.
Kind of, yeah. There's definitely some elements of science fiction to it. Not spacey science fiction, but
cyber conspiracy.
That makes it
sci-fi-ish.
It was strange, and it was kind of on a slow train all the way to the ending, which I think is kind of what you were alluding to. But even after we got the reveal of kind of what was real and what wasn't, and what happened and why they kept showing these flashbacks, it never really picked up. It just kind of, even the big chase scene at the end was two
Not
kids on
even
a tricycle riding down the street from the cops. It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even a chase scene really. It was just, I don't know. Pretty blah.
I don't know how this movie got greenlit with it being so kind of underdeveloped, in my opinion.
It did seem like they just kind of threw some ideas together and said, okay, this will probably work in this scene. So let's just wing it.
Here.
We'll wing it, and then...
You got Cusack's number? Give him a call. Put that here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're friends with Ricci? Yeah, get her involved.
Tell her it's going to be amazing, and she's going to work with Don Cusack.
That may be it. They're you're going to work with Christina Ricci. He's like, I'm on board.
I said Don.
You're going to work with John Cusack. And she's like, oh, I'm on board. And then Brendan Fletcher's just hanging out. He's like, cool, I'm on board.
He's like, I'm the one that's friends with both of them.
Right?
They got Brendan Fletcher, and then he's like, I bet you I can get Ricci and Cusack.
He's like, let me get on my phone. I know Superman. That's why.
Apparently.
So, okay. I feel like it's a little early to get to the ending, but I just want to make sure that I'm clear that there was nothing that was wrapped up at the end of this film. Like, once it was determined, because I don't want to give away the exact ending, but once it was determined whether it was real or whether it was unreal, whether it was just in her head, once we know that reveal, there's never a follow-up. There's not like a...
And then...
This happened. Like, they're like, oh, and we found that it was all fake and she's been in a mental institution the whole time. Or we all found out it was real and, you know, that the government actually is doing this to people, and so now they were put on trial or they had to shut them down. There's just like, they find out and then they go on with their lives.
Well, yeah, no.
They never give a explanation of what was done once it was determined whether she was imagining it or if it was real.
Don't they? I feel like they did.
All they did was they showed that they were setting up a nursery because she was pregnant. And that was the end.
Yeah.
They didn't say, you know...
This was the past, this was the future. I mean...
They didn't... Because, you know, if...
It's implied.
If you found out that she was, you know, unstable because of the past trauma, I would think that they would, you know, say, well, okay, maybe you could get away with that. But if... Even then it feels a little stilted. But if you find out that it's real, would you just kind of like, oh, well, that happened, so okay, let's move on with our lives and nothing's going to be done about it? I don't know. It feels...
I mean, something was done.
Yeah, but, I mean, like...
There was no repercussions for that guy either.
There were no repercussions for anybody. It's
well,
like,
except for one.
They just, they moved out of the building and moved on with their life, more or less.
No,
more or less.
I mean, like, at the end,
well,
when she had the bowling bag.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even that, like...
Maybe I'm just remembering it different.
I mean, if you want to pause it for a second, we can discuss it off camera for a quick sec.
Because we're trying to not do spoilers. Just because I feel like this some people might like it.
If you like thrillers, it might be something you're interested in.
Yeah.
But
and like they're good characters, you know, they're good actors in it. So
dancing around is.
I like Christina Ricci. Like I wanted to like this.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Yellow Jackets, granted it's freaking pretty weird.
It is weird but good, and
but
she
is on point, and the person who plays her as a kid does a great job of portraying her. I mean, everybody in the show is solid.
Yeah.
It's a great cast. Lots of very strong female actors in that movie, and some dudes, but it's mostly a female-led show. So, what was that? Is the Mummy? Is something going on?
No, it was my watch.
So are we at that point then, I guess?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it. It was kind of just nothing did. Okay.
So we should do like 1 out of 5. I have to think on it for a second. Let's see. 1 out of 5.
Sex Parasites. Wait, that's a different movie.
Sex Parasites.
That movie's on the shelf, by the way.
No.
I like Cronenberg.
Subliminal Messages.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I'm kind of ending up where I was last week on the previous movie, which is for the cast end of the film, I will give it 1 star based on their performances, but everything else about this needs some overhauling.
Yeah. I didn't fall asleep.
It's true, she didn't.
I like the Ricci and the Cusack.
True.
And the Fletcher. But
There's a but.
I was bored.
She was not intrigued.
Yeah, I was not impressed. So I'm going to say 1 also.
For a thriller to be not very thrilling.
Yeah, I was not
unfortunate.
thrilled. No.
There was no thrillbillies.
No thrillbillies.
No.
So if they don't want to watch this movie, and they do want to watch a good movie, or a better movie, I should say, what should they watch?
Well, I this is not my recommendation, but I'm going to throw it back out there again because now I've discussed it. You should watch Shivers if you're intrigued at all by this, or Sex Parasites. You should watch Shivers. But my actual recommendation seems a little weird, but if you've ever seen it, it kind of makes sense. And I like to be a little esoteric, and sometimes I like to talk like this when I'm trying to be Don Cusack. Anyway, my recommendation is 1962's The Manchurian Candidate.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen The Manchurian Candidate? We did a show on it on my podcast that ended after 10 years called 40 Going on 14, available everywhere. Because they made a remake of it in 2002, I believe.
Also did not see that.
With Denzel Washington and Liev Schreiber. This one is neither of those people, and I'm drawing a blank right now as to who is in it. But it is, I do know that Shelley Winters is in it, and she is evil, which is strange, but it's true. Anyway, I prefer the original to the remake in this case. It's not always true, but in this case I did. It's all about mind control.
Oh.
Where a guy is being controlled to attempt an assassination on the president.
I just thought it was like a lawyer movie.
No. It's all about mind control and this organization that's trying to get people to go out and murder other people and like control them and have them assassinate various figures, you know, for political. It's a political thriller, but it's all about, you know, bringing down the power through espionage and murder and science. And the ending is dork. It is a dark ending, but it's good. So if you've never seen The Manchurian Candidate, I recommend the Liev Schreiber one just because the cast is great and they're all on point, but the film itself is not as strong. But this one,
all right,
definitely worth your
while.
while.
What are we watching next week?
Next week, speaking of getting weird, chosen at random by our friend Google. Did that blow up or what happened to that?
It just went down into a big pit.
Oh. Getting the pit. Chosen at random, we are watching Tartan Asia Extreme's Cinderella. Which
Cinderella.
The Tartan Asia Extreme is an entire, like, it's part of the label. Like, so they have a bunch of movies under that title. So if you like this movie, it's kind of like, well, you might like the other ones that are under that moniker. So I've not seen this, neither has she, but I've seen some other ones of their films, and they're usually kind of
looking
gross.
stuff on that. Yeah,
So,
I was just gonna say there's some gross looking stuff on the back.
This is a known entity. This is not like I already know kind of what to expect a little, but anyway, let's give us the lowdown on the rundown and hoedown yo-down.
The just on the front says engaging, entertaining, squirm-inducing.
Seems about right.
Surprisingly artful and stylish horror film. I like how it's like surprisingly. Ooh. All right.
Oh, this is from 2006, by the way. Sorry.
Unique, New York. Seeking the much desired quality of Yuljing. Oh, the perfect face. That's what that means. And I'm sorry if I butchered that. I do not speak. What language? Korean. Yeah. This is Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never read the back. I let you read to me.
Yeah. 17-year-old Hyunsu? Yes. Friends are envious that she has a plastic surgeon for a mother. On their summer vacation together, she watches as her friends get plastic surgery and then one by one begin to die mysterious deaths.
Oh.
Her mother holds the key to the dark secrets that have been tucked away up to now.
That, you know, as soon as you started reading that, it reminds me of that short film we watched on that channel that you like, Alter.
Yeah.
Remember? With all the people with the...
Yeah.
Everybody got plastic surgery once they hit a certain age.
Except for that one girl. They wouldn't let her.
Yep, and then she went and got it like in a discount thing. And I mean, this is not that, but it sounded vaguely like that, like a little bit. Obviously, the other one is a lot more recent. But incidentally, we saw 2 short films recently from a director that I kind of hope he does something with this character, but changes some things so it's not quite as much of a riff. But it's called Trick or Treat 1 and 2. They're very short. You can find them easily online. It is 100% like Sam from Trick or Treat, the anthology series.
Yeah, but a little different.
But they're done really well, and I enjoyed them. She enjoyed them, and so if you have 30 minutes of your life, go check them out.
I love, the online. I love the YouTube shorts for horror. So, like, Alter is definitely one of my favorite ones. And then that one was that one on Alter? I don't think it was.
No, I think you just found it because we were watching a different one.
I don't remember the channel, but
look it up.
I'll look it up. He'll look it up. We'll all look it up.
But when we watched it, we ended up go ahead and watching the second one.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just had to mention it because one thing led to the other. Toot, toot, train of thought.
Yeah. Where else can they find us, Joel?
I just hit the chair. They can find us at our home away from home at thenewlydeads.com, where you can find all of the things that we make and sell. And we are also going to be coming up here in October at the
Witches Market at the Boone County Fair grounds.
I'll put that up here.
Not the Boone County Fair, but the Boone County Fair grounds.
Correct.
Yes.
Which we'll be selling our wares and a bunch of our...
There's going to be 85, I think she said, vendors out there
food
selling things.
Witches dance. Music.
Potentially a drum circle.
And all of
there's
our
live
Coolio
bands.
friends are going to be there.
Yep.
So...
yeah, it's going to be a good time. So if you are in the Midwest, anywhere near the Midwest, please make the trip because it's going to be worth it. It's going to be so much fun. Our 12-foot skeleton is going to be proudly on display.
Harold's hanging out.
With another 12-foot skeleton. So
and we also are creating a, what do you call those things? A photo op where you can get your picture taken either inside of a cauldron or as two ghosts that are in love with each other that we are painting. So you can also check that out and just come by, say hi, say, I saw you guys on Roku, PlayStation, Amazon.
Yeah, we're on all those things now.
Fire TV or Samsung Smart TV.
Or the interwebs.
We are all over the place or on TinglerTelevision.com.
Yeah, come say hi.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, and until next time,
keep it cheap and creepy.
Go look after your mother and sister. Where are you going? I'm gonna finish this.